How is it that in real estate, you can separate yourself from the thousands of other agents that are in your market? That's lenders. Now let's talk about title work. Go find a couple title companies in town and do the same thing. I can differentiate myself with that one characteristic, and then I can explain to them why that is valuable. When you hold client events, they want the same realtor that represented them to be the one that interacts with their family. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jeremy Davis. I'm the door-to-door realtor. I'm the head coach for Real D2D. Dwayne Richens, you can go see his channel, visit our channel, come to our website to view everything real estate door-to-door. So today we're going to talk about personal brand. Why is it so important that you not only know your brand, but you can develop the brand, and then you can communicate the brand to separate yourself from all the other agents. I hope you have a notepad. I'm going to take notes while we're going through this so that we can learn together in a classroom-like setting to really figure out how do we differentiate ourselves from other realtors. Now, first of all, why is this important? Well, in my market, there's 2,400 agents, okay? From those 2,400 agents, I have to be able to differentiate myself from everybody else to earn business. When I go to take a listing or represent a buyer on a home, there might be 5 or 6 or 7 other agents that are competing for that same spot. So today we're going to go over how do you develop your brand, how do you figure out what your brand is, how do you communicate that clearly so other people know why to choose you. So get your note paper out, let's go over this. First one, why is it so important to not only develop your brand, but understand how to communicate it? Well, like I said, there's thousands of other agents that are constantly trying to take business away from you. You have to differentiate yourself and show the prospect why it is that they're going to pick you and not A, B, C, D, E, F agent or their family relative that they've known for years and years and years. Okay? So how do we define our brand? Well, you need to have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 different ways to separate yourself. So let's make a list. Myself, I am a door-to-door realtor. Why does that matter? So not only know what your differentiating factor is, but then you have to know why that's important. So I'm going to ask the prospect, when's the last time you saw someone come and knock on your door for business in real estate? They're probably going to say no. Okay? So right away, I can differentiate myself with that one characteristic, and then I can explain to them why that is valuable. Prospect, when you go to list your house, do you know how many times the other realtor is going to represent the buy side? It's actually about 10%. Do you know how many times I do that? About 40%. Now to you, why is that important? Well, that's important because if I can find the buyer, other agents are bringing buyers, then we can cause a bidding war and get you the highest and best offer. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, so that's one. Another one that you could go through, maybe you're really good at communicating. I'm gonna ask the prospect, now, when you go to sell your home, how important is it to you that you and I communicate, game plan, and pivot strategies on a weekly basis? They're probably gonna say, well, that's crucial, of course. Well, did you know that most agents are gonna put a sign in the yard, throw it up on the MLS, and then pray that it sells? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so you clearly communicated or identified what your brand is, and then you communicated, showed it, and then taught the value. So you need to have a list of 5, 6, 7 different things that separate you that you can be really, really good at. And then you need to be able to spat these off. You have to be able to communicate these really, really well because people make split-second decisions all the time. But when it comes to real estate, on a $1 million property or a $500,000 property, they're not going to make a decision that quick. They have to feel like they can trust you, and then they'll move forward on their decision. Okay, so that's how you define your brand, that's how you communicate your brand, and that's how you can walk through with the prospect on why that specific branding, that differentiator of a characteristic is so important and why they should go for an agent that has that versus one that does not. Okay, let's talk about consistency. Why is it so important that we are consistent in our branding? Okay, when most people go to pick a realtor, they're going to view you online, they're going to hear your name through other channels, and then they're going to meet you for the first time. Or if you're prospecting on the phone, you're knocking on the door, you're going to act one way here. They need to see that it's transparent and that it's the same the second, third, fourth, fifth time that they meet you. When you hold client events, they want the same realtor that represented them to be the one that interacts with their family at the park. It has to be consistent over time. If there's any inconsistencies with what you say, how you present yourself from this moment to the next moment, you're probably going to lose them. And in this market, you have to be able to hold a consistent brand. For example, the door-to-door realtor, you're always going to see me knocking in the streets. You're always going to see me talking to neighbors. You come online, you're going to hear me talk about door-to-door and why that's valuable for clients in real estate. So what is your brand? How do you communicate it? Why is it important? And then you got to find a way to be consistent over time. Next part, networking. How do you network to grow your brand within the real estate world? Well, one thing that you can do that has exploded my business is network with people that you're going to work with. So find 3 or 4 lenders that you connect really well with. Let them know what you're doing, how you're getting business, what your business plan is, so that they can know your brand. And when they have all these clients come in, they can be like, oh, you'll be a perfect fit for Jeremy. You'll be a perfect fit for this realtor. They need to know your brand so they can know how to match incoming prospects to you. So I would recommend to have 3 or 4 lenders that you are networked with, take them out to lunch, have them take you out to lunch, stop by their office, call them, befriend them, really develop a deep connection so that they can refer you to outside business. That's lenders. Now let's talk about title work. Go find a couple title companies in town and do the same thing. Network with them, stop by the office, leave them a review online, comment on their social media. These things compounded over time will build a very strong network with these people that you're already going to do business with. Okay. Another thing you can do is hold client events. Once a quarter, do an event and label it as your brand. And then as you're knocking on doors, invite people to come to your event. Past clients, COI, lenders, title work, people in your community, people that you knock on, have them come to this event, have a banner that describes your brand. And again, it's the consistency that you're pushing your brand through other outlets. That way people can recognize you and they can find you easy. This world in real estate, with the amount of realtors there are, you need to have a clear, concise brand that people can recognize right off the bat. Next one, showcasing your expertise. Let's talk about some tips on how to share or showcase your expertise and knowledge in the industry. You do this by asking questions. When you're talking to people on the door, what do you think the market will do? What do you think rates will do? Have you thought about buying, selling, or investing in real estate? Do you know the average interest rate over the last 40 years? Do you know what it was in the 80s, the 90s? Do you know what it is today? Do you know how much volume there is in the price point that your prospect is looking at? Do you know how many have sold, are pending, and are active in that price point? Do you know why they haven't sold? The more you know, and the more you can communicate that to people on the doors and listing presentations and other avenues where you meet them, that's how you'll be able to capture business. You're only going to know that if you dedicate time daily to study that craft. So I'd recommend 3 times a day, give about 30-40 minutes, study your MLS. Go down to the hot sheet, see what's active, see what's pended, see what's closed, and then also go preview homes. Go walk through homes that are $1 million. Go walk through $600,000 homes. Go walk through $800,000 homes. Be familiar with the style of homes, what neighborhoods they are, the school districts. You have to dedicate specific time in your schedule to develop that knowledge. That way, when you communicate that to your client, they'll automatically want to work with you. Let's talk about 2 specific stories that really exploded my career, that demonstrated not only my personal brand, but it also got me multiple deals. A couple months ago, I was knocking for an open house that we had. And I was knocking on the doors. Hey, my name is Jeremy with EXP. Sorry to bug you, but I've really wanted to catch you. So glad I did. Did any of the neighbors tell you to come by? And they'll say, no, you haven't. Okay, cool. Well, I knock doors and I have a listing and I'm knocking all the doors in the neighborhood to let you know about the home. It's the Johnsons. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet, listed for $490,000. Who do you know that we can call right now so that I can give them a personal tour of the home? Family, friends, coworkers. This is where I'm going to go down the list. And then they're going to tell me whether they know someone or not. In this situation, I knocked on this lady's house, 5 doors down from my listing, and she had a mom that needed to buy or needed to sell in order to buy. Well, when I went and met with her, she really wanted to move in with her daughter. So I got them both together and said, hey, why don't you both sell your homes? Get a home where you can live together, because the mom was a little older. I'll list both your properties. I'll knock your neighborhood just like I am for that listing. I'll find a buyer just like I am right now. And then we can get top dollar for your homes and move you into this home. They loved it. They loved the idea of that. They loved the hustle and grind and the creativity to make this happen. I listed both their homes, both homes sold, and then we put them in this home. And then obviously we got a killer deal. It was off market. We got them a great price on the home. I was only able to do that because I have a system in place. When I have a listing, I'm going to knock the neighborhood. I'm going to invite everyone to that listing. And then I'm going to ask them, who do you know that we can invite to this open house? And I'm going to go through the list: family, friends, neighborhood. That lady initially said she didn't know anybody. So it was so important that I asked family, friends, neighbors, so forth. By doing that, it told her brain to go through her filing cabinet, and boom, she found somebody, her mom. Another story, I had a referral coming from a lender. Again, this is the networking of your brand, consistent over time. They knew that I was a hustler, a grinder, that I'd knock doors, that I could find things off market for a property for a family that was coming into southern Utah. So I connected with the family, I met them, figured out everything that they needed, and then I just went to work. The reason that situation worked really well is I went and knew already all the neighborhoods that they probably wanted to be in. When we initially met, I pulled up the MLS and told them, you're probably gonna wanna be here, 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 and here. I've knocked all those communities, I know all those homes. Here are all the homes that are active. These are the types of homes that have sold. I will start today. I'm gonna go through that neighborhood, go through my database and see who I can find that's ready to sell. They were stoked. Literally a day later, I found an off-market property. I called them, did a video tour. They came up from Las Vegas. I toured them through the property. They loved it. I then negotiated a great deal for the family because I knew their situation, and we put it under contract literally within 24 hours of having met for the first time. How did I do that? I did that because I knew the market. I was actively in those price points for families that are coming into my market, and I just went out and grinded. I didn't wait for the next day. I didn't wait for the day after that. I went to work right away so that family could be put into a home, honestly, quicker than they thought. So it's so crucial as we end today's topic that you know your brand, you know how to communicate your brand, and then you can explain why that brand and your characteristics differentiate yourself from other people. You then take that brand and you network it with lenders, title work, companies that are local. You go to the local events, people start to know who you are, so that then that brand gets communicated on a larger basis. Sometimes opportunity just comes with pure exposure. You have to go expose yourself to certain groups, consistent over time, and that's how you can then develop and get business. I hope today's episode was super beneficial. I hope you took a lot of notes. Again, my name is Jeremy Davis. Welcome to our channel. This is actually our first video, so thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section about what you learned today, what you're doing to identify your brand, communicate it, tell why, and then expose that to the world so that other people can learn. I hope this is a community where we can grow and learn together, and we can all have success in real estate. If you have any other questions, watch our parent channel, Dwayne Richens, Door-to-Door Realtor, Real B2B. Check out our website. If you have any questions, you can also call me or text me. I'm an open book, 702-525-5766. I'd love for you to reach out. I offer everybody a free 10-minute business evaluation so that I can dive into your business and see what 2 or 3 things you and I can work on so that you can have success overnight. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to tune in next time.